Welcome to week 1 of the NFL preseason, where the rookies of today hope to become the stars of tomorrow. It's the Raiders and the Vikings. All that and more coming up next.
Now from downtown Minneapolis, EA Sports coverage of the National Football League brings us inside beautiful U.S. Bank Stadium, the home of the Vikings. The preseason is upon us. So good to be with you. Mike Tirico with Greg Olson, about to embark on that journey that ends with the Super Bowl. Greg, so good to finally have football back on the field.
Absolutely, and it doesn't matter if it's preseason, regular season, playoffs. When NFL football's on TV, Mike, it's just better. And I'll tell you what, for these teams and a lot of these young players, this is the start. Just like you said, this is a journey to making the roster.
It's a fresh start for both of these clubs. Here we go, week 1 of the NFL preseason. This is fielded inside the 5. And he'll work this one past the 25 to right about the 28-yard line. The Raiders offense set to take over for the first time. They're led out by the man from Purdue, their quarterback, Aiden O'Connell.
Starting all the way back in the spring, Mike, there has been months of preparation building up for this very game. And for a lot of the guys on the sideline that have been around for a long time, these preseason games might not feel all that important. But I promise you, to that young guy who's putting an NFL helmet on for the very first time, running out of that tunnel, these games go a long way, not only to making this current roster, but trying to make a career out of playing in the NFL.
They'll come up here, 1st and 10. Here's O'Connell. They try to set up the screen, but this one doomed from the start. It's incomplete. They'll try again. It's 2nd and 10. Here's a first carry for their running back. And he'll pick his way forward. A gain of about 5. And that's going to set up 3rd down. Out of the shotgun, O'Connell. He connects with the open man. That's Myers. And he's going to have the 1st down. So they convert on 3rd down with a pickup of 9.
One of the easiest ways to negate these really good pass rushes in the NFL, Mike, is just to simply get the ball out of the quarterback's hand as fast as possible. And sometimes it's by design, sometimes it's based on need. But really nice job there by the quarterback, getting into the hands of his receiver and then see what he can do after the catch.
The coverage too strong that time. The ball batted away and incomplete. They'll try again here, 2nd and 10. From the gun, it's O'Connell. He'll be forced to just throw that one away. It's incomplete.
Nice example there, Mike, of the quarterback just being smart with the ball, understanding it didn't quite develop the way he had intended. Throw that ball out of harm's way, live to play another down.
Pressure gets there, and down he goes.
Outside of a turnover, this was probably the worst-case scenario. Immediate pressure in his face with nowhere to go with the ball downfield. Just get the ball out of your hand. Live to play another down. Instead, he retreats backwards and leads to a massive loss.
On 4th down, last year's All-Pro punter A.J. Cole on now for the Raiders. That's going to be out of bounds, no return, and the drive's going to start from just inside the 20-yard line. Here's the Minnesota offense taking the field for the first time. Leading them out, the quarterback out of North Carolina, Greg, it is Sam Howell.
Make no mistake about it, Mike, even though these games might not mean a lot in the grand scheme of things, they certainly matter when it comes to the evaluation of these rosters. You just can't replicate these situations of live reps in practice. So what do coaches do? They give guys a little bit of taste in the preseason games. Can you separate yourself from the rest of the pack? I'm excited to see who steps up, who makes a case to snatch one of these roster spots over these next couple hours.
Now the man who moved inside the NFC North, the former Packer, Aaron Jones. 2nd down and 8. Now it's Howe. Well, he's brought down. That pass is going to pick up 4 and bring up 3rd down. Throwing is Howe. That one on target to Moore. And he will score. Rondale Moore. Touchdown, Vikings. What a job to finish the play with a touchdown. The catch and carry, and the carry part, Greg, that was the most impressive there.
Well, you said it, Mike. The catch was nice, but it's what can you do after the catch that really separates guys in this league. And in this case, he did plenty because it ended up in a touchdown.
On now for the extra point. Here's Will Reichert. It's up and good. And the Vikings will take a 7-0 lead. Reichert out now following the touchdown as he kicks this one away. On the return is Dylan Laube. He'll work his way across the 25-yard line. The Raiders offense ready to possess the football for the 2nd time. They were forced to punt the first time through. It led to a touchdown, so down 7-0 as they get the ball back for 1st and 10. O'Connell to throw on 1st down. And that one knocked away. It's incomplete.
Well defended there. The quarterback's trying to attack this defense outside the numbers. Those really wide angle throws near the sideline sometimes can be very hard to defend, so give a lot of credit to this secondary. They were all on the same page, and the ball falls incomplete.
And they bring him down there, but it is inside the 10. It is going to be 1st and goal.
Over the course of my career early on, there was a handful of guys that were downfield threats in the passing game, but they did a lot of stuff in the run game. They were really good extra pass protectors, and if you threw them the ball, they had very sure hands. But what we're seeing now is the ability to get deep and add layers into the secondary as a pass-receiving threat, and not only do damage before they catch the ball, but so many of these guys have tremendous ability after the catch. Heck of an effort by this runner, Mike, just to get back to the line of scrimmage. I think most backs around the league, that play would have resulted in a loss, but not this guy. Continued to fight, continued to do everything he could to prevent the loss, but it still stopped for no gain.
From a little further back, here's 2nd and goal. Following the penalty, they'll run it. And it'll be a gain here down to the 12-yard line. Good drive now faces a tough conversion. It is 3rd and long. Now O'Connell. They'll try to set up the screen here. And the drive stalls out as he's brought down. And the field goal unit likely to come on here on 4th and goal.
I think this is one of those plays that when the ball carrier watches this back in the film room tomorrow, he's going to be a little frustrated with himself. If he could just have made that one guy miss, he picks up the 1st down. Instead, he gets brought down short of the sticks, and now they got a 4th down decision to make. Yeah, he does a nice job handling that kick there, but I think offensively, you come back to the sideline and you're thinking, we have to find a way to finish these drives. I mean, to be in 1st and goal and settle for 3, that can be very deflating for an offense settling for too many field goals.
The Vikings offense ready for their 2nd possession. The lead sits at 4, so they'll try to add on to that. This drive begins with 1st and 10. The drive begins with a carry by Jones. And he'll manage to pick up about 4. And Landon Roberts in there on the tackle. Here's 2nd and 6. Here's Howell. The left side here, caught by Addison. And that's going to be a first down. A pickup of 9. Moore going in motion. Off the play fake. He'll look to throw. Gonna look deep. Looking for more. And he will score. Rondale Moore. Touchdown, Minnesota. Make it 2 touchdowns in the very first quarter of play. A beautiful combination in the air there. The pass downfield and bringing it the rest of the way into the end zone for the touchdown.
And it's really just a great route, Mike, and then a beautiful throw. The accuracy of the throw is what allowed the receiver not only to secure the catch, but then be able to turn it up and finish the play and find himself in the end zone.
Reichard good with the extra point. And the Vikings extend their advantage to 14-3. Reichard out now, following the touchdown, as he kicks this one away. Laube now to return it. He's across the 20, taken down just shy of the 25. The Raiders offense ready to take over once more. The deficit is double digits, so work to do as they begin this drive with 1st and 10. They'll begin here on the ground. He'll struggle to get back to the line of scrimmage. Maybe he gets a yard out of that one. It's 2nd down. O'Connell to throw. And that's going to wind up incomplete. Pressure certainly impacted the quarterback there. Couldn't get his arm all the way through. And it's going to bring up a 3rd down. They go play action, and they will continue to go backwards. He's taken down for a sack.
The best thing they did here, Mike, is keep their rush lane integrity. What that means is you have to rush the quarterback as a unit. Keep him in the pocket. Keep him on that X. And when you do, man, he becomes a sitting duck for this pass rush.
Here's A.J. Cole now, as he'll hit this from just outside of his own goal line. And he'll get forward a few yards on the return. And that's where the offense will take over. Out comes the Minnesota offensive unit as they get set to take over. They built a nice lead for themselves here. They'll try to add to that, beginning with 1st down. They'll throw with Howell. A throw here, right side, falls incomplete.
You know, there's a fine line between trusting your arm and having a little bit too much faith in your arm, right? I think this was one of those situations here, Mike, where there was nowhere to go with the ball. He tries to fit that one in there anyway, and he's lucky that it just falls incomplete.
And he's able to gain yardage out of this one before he slides. Here comes 3rd and 6. Howell. He's got a receiver. It's Addison. It's been a busy first quarter for him so far. His 3rd catch goes for a 1st down.
These 3rd down conversions are just so important, Mike. Everybody stresses we want to possess the ball, give our offense as much opportunity to end as many drives as we can, scoring points. So if you want to stay on the field, you better be good on 3rd down.
Back to throw. Howell. He'll find his tight end, Josh Oliver. And that keeps him ahead of schedule. That's a 1st down completion of 7 yards. On play action, he'll set up to throw. And they're going to track him down. He couldn't find a receiver, and down he goes.
Nice job bouncing back there on 2nd down. 1st down, they gave up way too many yards and put them in 2nd and short. But now they can gain some of that back with that sack and brings up 3rd and...
Under pressure, he's going to go down again. They've sacked him for a second consecutive time.
The defensive coaches, they preached all week, Mike. They have to have relentless pursuit of this quarterback when he tries to extend the play. So often it results in a great play for the offense and a big pickup. This time, because of that pursuit, it leads to a big loss.
So on fourth down, out comes Ryan Wright to punt for Minnesota. Good hang time. The fair catch will be made back at their own 12. The Raiders offense headed back to take over once more. This will begin at their own 13-yard line. So work to do starting with this 1st and 10. Drive will start on the ground. He'll have a yard or two up to about the 16. They'll come up on a 2nd down and 8. To throw is O'Connell. Open man. That's Trey Tucker. And they're going to mark him down right at the 30-yard line.
These curl routes, he's been running these routes since he was a young kid in Pop Warner football, and I like to call it pulling the string. You've got the defender thinking you're going downfield, and you stick that foot in the ground, work back to the quarterback, friendly to the ball, and really nice job picking up the 1st down.
It's been a busy first quarter for him so far. His 3rd catch goes for a 1st down.
These crossing concepts are frequently used, Mike, throughout the entire game, all across the league. And what it does is it creates a lot of natural rubs. You run out the backside of the defense and rely heavily on the yards after the catch, and it's exactly how they're able to pick up this big gain.
That's a short one, caught by Bowers. And they'll get about half of what they needed. It's a pickup of 5 and sets up 2nd and 5. Back to the air one more time. He gets this one to Tucker. And that's going to be a 1st down. A pickup of 9. Gets it away quickly, and it's caught. And they'll get about half of what they needed. It's a pickup of 5 and sets up 2nd and 5. They'll look to throw again. That one caught by Tucker. And this takes him into the red zone. He's brought down inside the 20-yard line. They're at the 17-yard line now for 1st and 10. Now a give on the ground, and he'll be taken down, and that's going to do it. That's the last play of the first quarter. We are through 1. 14-3 is the score. More from the Twin Cities in a moment. Here's 2nd and 2. They'll run, and this is Dylan Laube. And the Raiders are going to have a 1st and goal coming up as they try to finish off this drive with 6 points.
2nd down at these distances, Mike, you pretty much anticipate a pass, and I think that's what the defense was lined up thinking. In this case, they...
And he will dive into the end zone. Zamir White, touchdown Raiders. Good drive. They kept the ball. Greg, they moved it effectively down the field and finished it off on the ground for the touchdown.
So often, Mike, we see teams work on a great drive to get down here close, only to settle for a field goal. But in this case, give them a lot of credit. They put a great drive together, but they're able to capitalize and finish it off with 6.
The kickoff team is out on the field, and we're back to it as the kick's away. Ty Chandler now to bring it back. And he'll be brought down past the 25. Decent field position to start this drive. The Vikings offense ready to see what they can do with this next possession. They'll start out first down and 10. A first carry now for Ty Chandler. And he'll get back maybe to the line of scrimmage, but probably going to be a loss of a yard here.
Well, they try to get the run game started here early on this drive, Mike, and they're just going to have to do a better job up front. There's really nowhere for this ball carrier to go. You never want to lose yards on first down, but that's exactly the case here.
And that'll go for a gain of 7, and it's going to set up third down. McCarthy from the gun here on third down. And he's going to have the first down. So they convert on third down with a pickup of 9.
Really nice job here by the quarterback, understanding what did he need to pick up a fresh set of downs. In this case, that underneath drag route was all it took. Get the ball into the hands of your receiver, pick up a first down.
On first down, here's McCarthy.
These are the play calls, Mike, that offensive coordinators use to just get their quarterback and their passing game into some sort of rhythm. Easy pitch and catch, get the ball out of his hand, see a completion. These typically, as the game goes on, lead to bigger and bigger gains.
A throw on the move is caught. First time these two have connected this afternoon, and it'll wind up being a first down. McCarthy gonna look to throw again. Off he goes. That's good for 27 and a first down.
This is an element to his game that we don't necessarily spend a lot of time talking about. He's not known as a traditional runner at the quarterback position. But when he has some space like he had here, he is more than capable of not only converting first downs, but picking up big chunk plays.
And not much there. He's back to the original line. No gain on that one. Throwing on second down is McCarthy. And they'll work this close to a first down, maybe just a tad short. Here's 3rd and 2. 3rd and 2, and here's McCarthy. It is brought in the end zone. Touchdown, Vikings. Greg, I love the precision on that play. Very little time, very confined space, and they come through with the touchdown.
And it's the accuracy of the throw, Mike, that protects his receiver. Everything down here near the goal line is so condensed. You understand you're going to be thrown into tight windows, but when you trust your quarterback to protect you with the ball placement, it gives you a lot more confidence going across the middle of the field, and in this case, pays off for a touchdown.
Now return coming from the 7. Now an opening past the 30. And a solid run back there. He'll get this out past the 30-yard line. The Raiders offense ready for this next possession. They'll look to make some inroads here. They're down 21-10 in this one as they come up on a first down. And he'll manage to get to the 33. Dallas Turner, the rookie, there on the tackle. Now some movement up front. Flags down. Mistake-filled first half continues. Off play action. He'll set up to throw. Finding his tight end, Mayer.
There's no more efficient play in the NFL, Mike, than the play action passing game, and you can see here why. You make the defense have to honor both the run and the pass, and he's able to pick up a nice gain to his tight end.
He manages to get the throw away and completes it.
It takes a certain guy in that slot position to be willing and able to go across the middle of the defense on those in-breaking routes. You can tell this guy, he doesn't care. He is fearless going across the middle, and he's able to secure a nice catch.
Here comes Laube. He'll work his way ahead for a gain of about 4. Here's a 2nd and 6. They'll throw out of the gun. And a good effort there defensively. It's knocked away and incomplete.
Just a great example of not only the anticipation, but the instincts to go break that pass up, Mike. You can see he's clearly looking at the quarterback's eyes, and once that ball was delivered, he's just attacking it and breaking it up.
His 2nd grab on this drive, good for 11 yards, but most importantly, a 1st down.
This is what every offense looks to do, Mike. They want to attack the middle of the field. That's the most valuable real estate in football. And oftentimes, that's where the chunk plays come. Give it to your receiver on the move and let them do the rest.
They'll run with Laube. And this will be a short gain down to the 41-yard line. Linebacker Ivan Pace up to make that play. Here's 2nd and 9. On 2nd down, a run with White. And he'll only manage to pick up 3 yards. And that leads to 3rd down. On the handoff, it's Laube. And he's going to be close to that 1st down. Looks like he made it past the yellow line. Yes, he did. It is indeed a 1st down. Now this time they'll look to throw. We'll drop this underneath to White. And no chance to turn and go. That one good for just a couple. The motion man is Johnson. Throwing now from the gun. A throw there on 2nd down, going to be incomplete.
He decides to go with the safe throw and throws it well short of the sticks. And at this level, Mike, you just can't miss layups like that.
On 3rd down, they'll set up to throw. He'll try to run for it.
Great reaction by the defense. At first, Mike, it looked like there was enough room out there for the quarterback to pick this one up himself, but they were able to rally to the ball, and I think the officials are going to mark him just short.
The field goal unit on the sideline. They'll line up to go for it on 4th down. Back to throw. That is incomplete. They took a chance throwing it on 4th and short, but not to be, and they'll turn it over on downs.
And here we have a real gutsy call here, Mike, early in this game offensively. I think you're giving up a surefire field goal attempt, but at the same time, you're demonstrating to your players, hey, offense, I have a lot of trust in you, and let's see if they have this same approach as the rest of this game plays on.
And he'll be brought down after a short pickup to the 24. And Landon Roberts in there on the tackle. A run now for Chandler. Room to run at the 35. They'll get 19 out of that play. It'll be a Vikings 1st down.
We've seen this trend throughout the league, Mike. Offensively, everyone wants to have depth at the running back position. Yeah, it's great to have one guy, but if you could have 2 or 3 that could all come in and contribute on the ground, that's the goal, and we're seeing it here. How often do we see linebackers be so fast trying to track down the ball carrier that they end up actually overrunning the play and allowing the running back to cut back? But not this guy. Does a great job staying in phase, stretching this ball out sideways, and he brings him down for a loss.
And he's going to be swallowed up again. Back-to-back runs, back-to-back losses. Now it's 3rd down. Throwing now, it's McCarthy. That's complete on the tight end screen. He'll try to use that size to push forward, but it's not going to work. Defense strong up front, and they're going to get him down behind the line of scrimmage.
When you throw the ball short of the sticks on 3rd down, you're relying heavily on the yards after the catch. So give credit to the defense here. Once the ball carrier had the ball, multiple guys around him, corralled him, take him down short of the sticks.
A fair catch signaled, and they'll have it just outside their own 20. The Vegas offense ready to get rolling again. They'll begin with 1st and 10. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. And he's taken down, but not until he gets to the 32-yard line.
You know, Mike, I like everything about this play except the very end. You've already picked up good yardage. You've already picked up the first down. Now get down on the ground and protect yourself. There's no reason to take those shots.
And he's going to be taken down as we hit the 2-minute warning here in this first half. Here's a 2nd and 9. Here comes the blitz as he looks to throw. He'll swing this one out wide to his running back. And a good job rallying to the football. Holding just a gain of a yard and sets up 3rd down. He'll try and get there on the ground. So now a timeout for the Vikings. That is their first, as they'll discuss what's to come as 4th down is looming. And that is good coverage by the punt team as they meet him and bring him down. The Vikings offense back onto the field for their next possession. They'll start it here with a 1st and 10. From the shotgun, it's a throw from McCarthy. That's a nice pickup on a 1st down throw. It's a gain of 8. They'll come to the line now on 2nd and 2. From the gun, here's McCarthy. And they'll whistle him down, but not before he picks up a 1st down after a gain of 7. That's a second charge timeout for Minnesota, as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. Ball out to the 35-yard line as they come up for 1st and 10. Working out of the shotgun, it is McCarthy. And he's close to a 1st down. It's a gain of 9. Nice pitch and catch on 1st down. 2nd and a yard. The Vikings go ahead and use their final timeout, as the clock will stop with 21 seconds to go until halftime. A good spot here, 2nd and a yard. Throwing again is McCarthy. And he'll be forced to just throw that one away. It's incomplete.
You can't fault the quarterback on this one, Mike. He really didn't even have much of an opportunity. By the time he hit the top of his drop and got his eyes downfield, the defense was all over him, and he really had no choice but to just get that ball.
Nowhere to go. He is taken down. Now the Raiders going to use the first of their timeouts as they stop it with 11 seconds remaining in this first half. Here's Ryan Wright now, as he is on to punt for Minnesota. And good coverage by the punt team. They stop him before he can get any return cranked up. And they'll elect not to run another play. Instead, just take a knee and take this on into the locker room. So we have reached halftime in our first preseason matchup of the year, as we send you down to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports halftime report. Coach.
All right, Mike, thanks very much. Back to you two in just a moment. The preseason is upon us as these two teams get things rolling. They'll have 2 more games after this to get ready before week 1 comes our way. It'll be here before you know it.
All right, Coach. Thank you very much. We welcome you back. It is quarter number 3. Chandler now to return it. He'll get this up to the 28-yard line. Nice place for the drive to start. The home team's offense looking to get back to work as we begin this third quarter. They'll see if they can put something together here, beginning with 1st and 10. On the ground, this is Chandler. Trying to find somewhere to move forward, but nothing going. Tackled for the loss of a yard.
With the struggles they had running the ball in the first half, Mike, it makes sense that they're trying here early in the second to get this ball carrier going. But this last run's not going to do them any favors. Another rush, another loss of yards.
And they'll get about 8 out of that one, but still a little work to do now on 3rd down. They'll run it here with Chandler. And that one shut down pretty quickly. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage, nothing more.
You could just see the frustration on the running back's face as he's getting helped up off the ground, Mike. There was just nowhere to go from the moment he was handed the ball. Give credit to the defense. Great job.
It'll be a punt coming up for the Vikings, as he'll punt it away for the 4th time today. Now, fair catch called, and he's going to take it out beyond the 25-yard line. The visitors' offense getting ready for their opening possession of this second half. They'll do so with 1st and 10. Back to throw here to begin the drive. That one complete. It's Ian Thomas. They get 13 to begin the drive. It's a 1st down. From out of the gun, he'll throw. That one caught over the middle by the rookie. And they bring him down, but not until he crosses midfield. Set to go now on 1st and 10. He'll drop to throw. Fires quickly. It is complete on the slant.
Receiver just finds himself in a really nice groove, and there's these weird times in the game, Mike, where it just seems like every ball comes your way, every play they call, you're wide open, and you just find yourself in one of those grooves that athletes talk about. So they got to continue to ride the hot hand, because right now on that field, there's no mistaking who it is. I'd like to see that running back be a little bit more decisive with his cut, Mike. You can see he was a little hesitant, and once you're late making that decision, you just kind of get strong laterally. Great job there by the defense, and he has no choice but to take that loss.
This will not do the trick. They've stopped him behind the line. 4th down coming up.
When you can get this level of run support out of your secondary, Mike, man, what an advantage for any defense. This defensive back clearly reads run, gets off his block, and he's able to take down the back for a loss of yards.
And no return forthcoming. It's a touchback and will come out to the 20-yard line. The home team's offense ready to see what they can do. They'll try to establish some tempo as they start this one with 1st and 10. Looking to throw. McCarthy. Quick throw, taken in. An enviable spot to operate from. Here's 2nd and inches. A carry now for Chandler. And they'll be set up now. Up past the 40 with that one.
It's too early at this point, Mike, to really start thinking about the clock. You definitely don't want to go into a shell. But now this is the point in the game where having a good ground game really starts to take over. You throw to get the lead, but man, once you get it, that ground game, that's what finishes the game off.
Back to the ground after the penalty. And nothing on that one. Back to the line of scrimmage, and that is it. Work to do now as they come up on 2nd and long. Back to the ground. He'll get it again. Can he get away? No! He's taken down behind the line. Good job by the defense with a negative play.
Anytime the running back is forced to chop his feet in the background and never get to top speed, you know that play's not going anywhere. That's exactly what the defense was able to force here by getting penetration. Great job there, stopping this play before he had a chance to even get started.
And he'll gain yardage and able to get down at the end of the play.
And that's a great job defensively here on third down. Not only taking away all the options down the field through the air, but when the quarterback decides to turn into a runner himself, they're able to converge and make the play and keep him short of the first down.
Now a fair catch, and it's going to be a long field. They'll take over right about their own 13. The visitors' offense ready to get back at it. They'll begin inside their own 15-yard line, so a lot of real estate to cover. It's 1st and 10. The drive begins with a run by White. And he'll get forward for a couple. It's 2nd down. Now they'll set up to throw. A throw left side, taken in by Thomas.
The drag route is such a good way to get the ball early into the hands of your tight end and take some pressure off the quarterback and give him an easy completion. The size and the athleticism allows them to try to pick up more yards, but do it after the catch.
That's going to be pretty close. Looks like he's got it, and he does. 1st down.
In real time from up here, Mike, I couldn't tell whether or not he got it at first glance, but I think after seeing the replays we have up here, it looked like he and his blockers got just enough, and they're going to be able to keep this drive alive.
That'll be batted away. Incomplete. Coverage very strong defensively. It's 2nd down. On the handoff, it's White. And he's bottled up after a gain of a yard. 3rd and 9. On 3rd down, it's White. And he's got some space. Up past the 30 to about the 32-yard line. A pickup of 7. The Raiders send their punt team out as he's on for the 5th time this afternoon. And that's a nice job of getting to him, making sure that return was not going anywhere. The home team's offense makes their way back out to the field for their next possession. They'll begin here on the ground. And he'll be stacked up at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play. On 2nd down, here's McCarthy. That's caught by Chandler. And he'll be taken down just shy of the 30.
Every once in a while, it just comes down to you need somebody in the huddle to just make a play, and it wasn't a whole lot fancy here. The quarterback just dumps the ball down, a quick underneath completion, and then really it's the yards after catch that did the rest, and that's what it takes. You're not always going to have the perfect play. You're not always going to dial up the perfect play against the perfect look. Sometimes players need to make plays, and that was a good one there.
A dive and a catch. Incredible. Number 14 with a pickup of 14 and a 1st down.
So, Mike, you look back at the quarterback and you see that this ball is coming out of his hand and it's going to be low. And the decision's made. You've got to go down to the ground to secure the catch. First order of business. Your hands are between the ground and the ball, no matter what that looks like. And then once you secure it, you've got to roll, protect the ball, and under no circumstances can that ball move or hit the ground. I mean, how often do we see a great catch overturned on replay? So it's not easy, but you get paid to catch them all.
They'll stick with him again. He'll get about 3, and that's going to lead to 3rd down. 3rd and 6. McCarthy from the gun here on 3rd. In trouble, and he's going to be taken down.
Defense came out in a soft zone, and I think it caught the quarterback a little off guard. He was trying to attack them downfield. By the time he was able to get through his progression to his check down, he ran out of time, and that's all the pass rush needed to get into the backfield and bring him down.
It'll be a punt coming from the Vikings as they are forced to kick for the 6th time today. And no return on this one. Fair catch signaled for and taken. The visitors' offense getting their final instructions before heading back onto the field. 1st and 10. Right away, they'll set up to throw. A throw on the move is caught. And he'll be taken down all the way up past the 45.
Those are the explosive pass plays that this team is going to continue to mine all day. And you could see pre-snap, the quarterback loved his matchup. He allowed his receiver to work downfield. Perfect throw, and now sets them up to try to see if they can finish this drive off with some points.
A quick throw here on the RPO. It's caught by Johnson. And he's brought down after a gain of 6 on 1st down. They'll work now on 2nd and 4. On the give, it's White. Oh, yeah. And they'll move this one down inside the 40-yard line.
Finding yourself down here multiple scores in the second half, the defense is going to give you some friendly run looks. So don't be afraid to mix it in there. But if you're going to find yourself coming back from this deficit, you're going to have to do it primarily through the air with just a little bit of mix of the run.
So, 3 quarters have come and gone. EA Sports back for more from the NFL preseason after this. Now, faking the give. And he will not get back to the line of scrimmage. That's going to go down as a sack and a loss of a couple. This throw left side, taken in by Johnson. And he will have the 1st down. He caught it short of the line to gain, but knows right where that marker is, and he's able to pick up that 1st down. They'll run over center with White. The ball comes out. It's picked up by one of his teammates.
So as you start operating your red zone offense, of course it goes without saying, Mike, you're trying to score touchdowns. But the worst case scenario is that you bring your field goal unit and you at least try for 3. You have to protect the ball. Turnovers are the cardinal sin of red zone offense. In this case, they dodge a little bit of a bullet here. The ball comes loose. Fortunately for the ball carrier, his own team recovers it. They can keep their offense on the field and see if they can finish this drive.
He'll look to throw. That's caught over the middle by Thomas. And he takes it down to the 15-yard line. They'll come up here, 1st and 10. Now a give on the ground. And the woes in the running game continue. They're going to subtract yards there. A loss on the play.
Every team makes an emphasis on winning 1st down, but as a defense, when you're able to take them back for a loss, second and long, you can really become more of a pass-centric defense and really tips the scales into your favor.
Here's a give up the middle with White. He'll manage only about 3, so it will bring up 3rd down. They'll go again with White. So big kick coming now for Daniel Carlson. This to get back to a 1-possession game. And this one right down the middle. It's good. And they are indeed back within 1 score.
And I can tell you firsthand, Mike, when you find yourself trailing in a game, you don't feel very good about coming away with field goals. But in this case, it does get them a little bit closer and cut into this deficit.
And he is stopped at the 25, and the drive will begin there. The home team's offense ready to get back to work. The advantage is 8. We'll see if they can make this a 2-score game on this drive. 1st down and 10. On play action, here's McCarthy. That one a bit high, but it's complete. They'll mark him down up at the 44-yard line.
A lot could go wrong anytime you decide to put the ball in the air here late in the 4th quarter as you're trying to run out the clock and protect this lead. But at the same time, I like that they haven't gone super conservative, just handoff right, handoff left, and it just turns into tackling practice. So I like the balance of making the defense defend everything, because right now, possess the ball, protect the ball, and ultimately just run the clock out.
And the defense there to meet him. They'll hold him to 2 and bring up 3rd down. Now McCarthy. Oh, in trouble. Down he goes.
If they win this game, this pass rush is going to be a big reason why. The 5 sacks speak for itself, but their ability to disrupt the timing of this offense, that can't be overstated.
So it's 4th down. They'll call on the punt team as they try to play the field position game here, protecting a 4th quarter lead. And he'll get a few yards on this return up past the 15-yard line. The Raiders offense ready to take over once again. And look, they've been out of sorts throughout, Greg. They haven't had any answer for this pass rush all game.
Yeah, and it's really showing up in the sacks and also just in their ability to prevent any yards, any completions. This has just been a dominant pass defense performance here, and everything starts with the rush. The quarterback's uncomfortable. The clock gets sped up. He's got guys in his face. It's a lot easier to play defensive back and in some of these coverage units when you know that ball's got to come out fast. And right now, they're teeing off and taking advantage of it.
So after the loss on 1st, here's 2nd and 14. Now, whistles here. Looks like one of the defenders got a head start. A give, and here's White. And he'll take this ahead for a gain of about 5, and here comes 3rd down. A shotgun snap. He'll look to throw. He's got his man complete to Johnson. His 5th catch of the afternoon. Good for a first down.
And this is a tricky part of the game for any defense. You find yourself protecting a late lead, and the age-old question is, do you remain aggressive? Do you try to just keep the ball from being thrown over your head and make everything be tackled and played in front of you? That's what every defensive coordinator struggles with, so they can't get too soft here as they try to hold on to this lead here late.
Nice gain on first down, but the penalty flags come in. And the question now, will the play stand? Back to throw. A throw on the run is complete.
Defense does a nice job here initially using zone coverage to take away the middle of the field. That's the most valuable real estate in football. Quarterback gets off his first read, sees some openings to the sideline, and him and his receiver are able to connect.
They'll get maybe 3 out of that one, and it's going to set up third down. They'll throw out of the gun. And that is incomplete.
They're lucky to have avoided this mistake here, Mike. In the fourth quarter, with possessions running out, that would have been a critical back-breaking play in this game. And they're going to have second life now after that defender drops the ball. And let's see if they can take advantage of it.
The Vikings offense ready to take over possession of the football. The drive begins at the 20. Here's 1st and 10. From the gun, here's McCarthy. The pass rush gets home, and he goes down.
So after surrendering their 6th sack of the game, I looked down on the sideline, Mike, and found their offensive line coach. He grabbed his headset, removed it, and he slammed it on the ground. And truthfully, I don't blame him. His unit has been getting worked up front all day in pass protection.
Up the middle they go. And he's able to sidestep his way forward and pick up 4. 3rd and long. Working out of the shotgun, it is McCarthy. And that is incomplete.
And this game almost just flipped completely on his head. You find yourself with a lead, just trying to milk the clock away in the fourth quarter, and that's a gift. I mean, that defender just flat out drops the ball, and if he's able to secure that takeaway, this game looks very different for this offense.
The Raiders offense starting to trot out for this next possession. The deficit is 8 as this drive begins with 1st and 10. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. A toss left side caught by his running back. And he'll be taken down rather swiftly after a gain of just 3. 2nd and 7. Blitz coming. He'll throw it. This pass is caught by Thomas. And they'll take this down inside the 35.
Just seems like every year, Mike, the tight end position just continues to grow within the passing game and establishes a bigger and bigger role. And listen, I know I'm biased, but if you want to have a good passing game, you better have a good tight end.
Here's 1st and 10. On the handoff, it's Laube. And not much there. He's back to the original line. No gain on that one. They'll try again. It's 2nd and 10. He'll drop to throw. Catch made right side by Thomas. And they will take him down at the 20-yard line. On first down, it's White. And he's going to be stopped in his tracks. He'll lose a couple of yards on that one.
Great job by that linebacker timing his blitz. He didn't give any indication to the offense that he was coming, and he's able to get through that hole and take the ball carrier down for a loss.
A give, and here's Laube. And this defense up to the task there. Gain of just 2, and it's third down. Here comes White on the toss right. And he'll be taken down as the clock ticks towards 2 minutes to play. It's only a yard, but a big yard. 4th and 1. They'll drop to throw. And that is incomplete. They had their chance. They took it there. Look, they're trailing late. Got to let it fly. This will wind up a turnover on downs. Out comes the Minnesota offensive unit as they get set to take over. They'll begin with first down from their own 11. They motion the slot man left. They show jet sweep and instead run it up the middle. And quickly, the clock stops again. Defense taking the timeout. $1:54 to go. Last play went the wrong way. It sets up second and long. It's second down and 12. They send him right out of the slot. They fake the jet sweep and give it up the middle. And he's able to find a crease, get ahead for 7, and it'll bring up third down. From the shotgun, it's a throw. Oh, he coughs up the football. And that pressure too great. He's going to be sacked in the end zone. And that is a safety. Boy, you really feel the pressure back there near the goal line, and they force the ball out. And lucky for this quarterback, saved him 4 points by falling on the ball.
Absolutely, Mike. I mean, that could have been even worse than it turned out. I mean, not only to get the strip sack fumble in the end zone, but fortunately for this offense, they fell on it, and it only leads to the 2 points.
Oh, he's got room past the 30. The Raiders' offense getting things in order as they trot out for this next possession. The deficit, 6 points. So a touchdown here would be mighty nice for the offense. See what they can do on this drive. 1st and 10. Back to throw here to begin the drive. Oh, and a pressure there. He can't get a throwaway, and he's taken down. They'll look to throw. He runs with it. Well, they'll get some of the sack yardage back, but it's still going to leave them with third down. That is incomplete. And here we go. They're down to what could be their final play. It's 4th down. Throwing now from the gun. And that is incomplete. They had their chance. They took it there. Look, they're trailing late. Got to let it fly. This will wind up a turnover on downs. The Vikings offense getting set to get back to work. They'll have a short field, looking to build on the lead. The defense still with all 3 timeouts at their disposal as the quarterback's down to an E. Lost 1 on the last play, so now it's 2nd and 11. Victory formation here as he's down to an E. So, a win here for the Vikings. as they start things out with a victory here in the first week of this preseason. So that'll do it for us. For Greg Olson and our terrific team behind the scenes, I'm Mike Tirico. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. Follow us on X at EA Madden NFL. It's a win for the Vikings as we say so long from Minneapolis.